and welcome back to Roadwarden. Now, I found myself, after playing this before, I found myself just thinking about it. As I was like lying in bed, I kept thinking like, what's gonna happen, or what are these people doing? Or should I be trusting them? Maybe I made a mistake. Should I restart it? And that's the sign of an intriguing game. I love it when you leave a game, you walk away from it, and there's still a part of it that's kind of just itching away at you. Even though we only really looked at it for about 40 minutes or so, just a quick first look. It seems like, of course, for a game like this, like we barely even scratched anything, and it definitely requires a little bit more of a lengthy run. So we're going to do that this time and let ourselves just kind of get into it and not worry about any times. So when we left off, we had just arrived at this camp, and we were looking for a group of soldiers and to report to the lieutenant. We met them, but there's something still seems a little bit off. The game seems to do a really good job at not just giving answers away. It gives these subtle hints and these subtle observations that can make you even doubt what's going on. So our character currently, he doesn't fully trust these people, even though they seem to be trustworthy. Because of that, we've decided to maybe make some dumb decisions. We did not accept food from them in case, like, I was worried maybe it's going to be poison or something. And we decided to take the night watch instead of sleeping in here without really learning about these people. So we're currently on the night watch, and yeah, there are beasts roaming about. I will not let it distract me. I keep looking around. Let's dive in. You hear the... Oh my god, this has escalated quickly. You hear the death screams of distant prey and the mating calls of monkeys. Oh my. Runners are chasing a gray hare. A group of musk oxen lazily chew the grass, preparing themselves to sleep. A dusk fox is running together with a lynx, making playful screeches. Thankfully, you never have to intervene. You just sit there, watching the not-so-distant forest, trying to outlast your sleepiness. You can only guess how much time has passed. Once you feel you've had enough, you climb down and go to a tent, waking up the bearded man with just a couple of words. You confirm that nothing important has happened. Okay, it was a calm night. I was expecting something crazy to happen. I look for a place protected from wind. I use my bag as a pillow, put my blanket on the ground, and cover myself with my cloak. You aren't used to sleeping in such harsh conditions, but it's better than nothing. The weather is gentle. Maybe you won't catch a cold. Maybe! I'm having, like, flashbacks to Outward. If anyone's played Outward, where you just like take a stroll in the cold, and you got a cold, and you're getting your stamina sapped anyway. The stars instantly inspire your dreams, both with their splendor, what a great word, and by making you look for patterns and shapes among them. Your job starts tomorrow. I wonder if this little bit of flavor text was added because we made the choice of we like looking at the stars. That would be very interesting if they really customize the story to your character. I did see some on the Steam reviews, they mentioned that you really, even though this is a narrative and you're following a narrative, you really felt that you were building your character as you went. So that would be very awesome if they did that. Your job starts tomorrow. I focus on the real goal of my journey. That's right, we need to find, what was his name? Journal. Aurelis or something? Asterion. We need to find Asterion, the previous Roadwarden. This, again, I just want to mention, this is really great quality of life, where you can see even what people have thoughts about them. It updates all of that. I was adding things into my notes, but it seems like it updates all of these things. Pretty detailed, which is great. And a whole bestiary and a glossary of like the history, that what the dragon bones being the money. This is something I may like look into off camera, but I'll try to go to this as we learn things in case you guys are interested as well. All right. New journal entry, explore the peninsula. The Merchant Guild wants to take control of this realm. Your wardening duties are secondary. First and foremost, you need to explore the peninsula. Learn about the territory, resources, and threats. Get to know the locals, and if you can, convince them to consider negotiations with Hovleven officials and traders. Could the tribes resist the soldiers or be a threat to the priests of the United Church? Are there any forbidden practices that need to be eradicated, such as blood magic, necromancy, robbery, or slavery? Interesting. So Okay, I take that back. Our main goal is not here to find that guy. We're pretty much, I'm guessing, just taking his position and helping the lieutenant at the same time to figure out what happened to him. At least I have time. 40 days to be exact. I need to be as thorough as I can. This is a difficulty modification too. At the beginning, you can select a harder mode, which is less time, or you can just have unlimited time. Once you finish your reconnaissance, you should speak with Tulia and return to Hovlevin. There, you'll report back to your employers and get your reward. In the meantime, you have your own goal to pursue. Oh, so we just have the freedom of choice now? I need to gather some extra coins so I can save my sibling from death. What? Backstory? I didn't expect this. I need to gather some extra coins so I can retire early and live in prosperity and safety. That sounds very nice. If I gather enough connections among the local leaders, I'll use them to become a major player in the Merchant Guild. I want to be remembered as the soul who brought peace and order to this realm. A hero. I just want to help people, make this region safer for the locals and the newcomers alike. I need to find a new life for myself. I have a difficult past, and I want it to be forgotten. Ooh, okay, again, we're playing the role of the one and only Reginald Stoutworthy. And he is not necessarily a nice person. You know, he's a consistent person. But would he save his siblings? Yes, he would absolutely save his siblings, because to him, family lineage is the highest form of nobility and is sacred. If someone comes up and you know, calls your brother, you know, like, "Are you looking very small today?" or something like that, you beat them with a blunt object. That's how the Stoutworthys work. So he might do that. He might save his sibling. He doesn't care about retiring early. Absolutely not. He wants glory and grandeur. Does he want to take over the Merchant Guild? He has no desire for playing other people's games. He would want grandeur, to be remembered a hero. So it's either the hero or saving his siblings from debt collectors. I think we're going to go with saving the siblings. I think that can be a little bit more interesting, a little bit more twists and turns. We got to get gold to save our siblings. Your half-asleep senses are catching the sounds of the wild forest. You can't travel during the night. Press the sleep button to rest. Okay. Your half-sleep senses are catching the sounds of the wild forest. Your instincts keep you alert and anxious, though the pleasant, humid, late summer air evens it out slowly. You're thinking about your goal, but you need to gather your strength. All I can do now is rest. Okay, let's click the sleep button. Sleeping on the ground! Your blanket won't be much of a bed, and the palisade barely covers you from the wind. Sleeping here will be severely uncomfortable. Okay, so we're gonna lose... That's a lot of health we're losing. You don't need to eat. Return. Okay. So we're gonna lose a lot of health. We're keeping our food. Our hunger should be okay. And I forget what the star means. Hygiene, I think it is. Maybe it's hygiene and this is armor. So we're going to get a little dirty. That makes sense. Begin. You are surrounded by sunlight. Your back begs you to stand up. Before you fully wake up, you smell a roast. Oh my. No. Burning meat. Burning. Rotten meat. Disgust crawls toward your consciousness. Pardon me. You stand up. Normally you would dust off your cape and blanket, but your instincts are stronger than your routine. Your horse is looking around nervously. Your bags are where you had left them. You see an open gate. This does not bode well. I go outside to see what's happening. Both soldiers are standing nearby a humble pyre. The man in the shirt looks at it contemplatively. Tulia is the first one to address you. Stoutworthy. I'm gonna hold. Now, you know what? Let's go for it.
Stoutworthy,
She greets you with a nod.
we use the horse's manure for the flames, so don't worry about cleaning it up.
You see a corpse among the flames. It's impossible to tell if it belongs to a male or a female, but it was an adult. The burning process won't be over for a couple more hours.
A traveler or an undead?
The latter, a younger one.
She lacked the pneuma. The pneuma.
To understand that she couldn't get inside the camp without climbing.
I stabbed her with a spear, from a safe distance. She shifts her weight.
One more fog and she'd be a real threat. Even now it took a couple of hits to knock her down.
Sooner or later, every human shell wakes up, gaining more strength, with each soul it devours and each moment it spends in the fogs. Burning the dead is not just a religious practice, it's a necessity. Soldiers, priests, village mayors, even road wardens. Making a large pyre takes a lot of time, but it saves lives. Tulia calls this undead a she. Most unites hesitate to do so. So she's mentioning its humanity in a way. So maybe she has some kind of different opinions about this process. But this is very cool. So everybody, this is like a zombie apocalypse. Everybody will turn. So you have to burn the corpses to prevent them from rising from the dead. And they get stronger with each time they rise. And something about this fogs. Okay, hold on, let's go to the archive. Not the archive, the journal. A glossary. The fogs. Fogs appear in every season aside from spring, but the majority of them occur in autumn. They are feared and hated by the Northerners, since whenever they touch a dead human shell, they awaken it. It's unknown why this happens or why it doesn't affect animal carcasses, but the common understanding is that the fog itself contains dense pneuma, which then spontaneously fills an empty human shell, replacing one's soul. Holy crap. Humans can replicate this effect thanks to the forbidden art of necromancy. Fogs also increase the potential of spellcasters. The fog is power, the tablets say. And while most people stay inside their homes while it's around, it makes casting spells easier by supplying wizards with pneuma. During foggy days, magical potions are easier to brew, golems act faster, and the blood magic becomes less demanding. Very cool. So we chose to be a warrior. So maybe this is only, the fogs are only going to be a negative thing for us, which I kind of like it. We don't want to dabble in the mysticisms of the soul replacing magics. We just want to burn them all. Much more effective. Cool. Time for me to leave.
Running away from the reek, huh?
I don't blame you.
She looks again at the fire.
Find us here when you learn what happened to Asterion. We leave once the fall comes, if not sooner. Safe travels.
These words make you stop. An old farewell, mocked in a number of songs and tales, but yet you hear no scorn in Tulia's voice. She observes the fire with one hand on her hip, the other one on her chin. Maybe she's trustworthy. She's done nothing but been cool. I prepared myself for the journey. Use the travel button to see the map and move to another area. Okay. You somehow miss the fact that your mount is already saddled and warmed up. You double check the equipment, but you don't need to fix anything. The soldiers were diligent. Normally, preparing any palfrey for a long journey takes a lot of time. You put on your gambeson and make sure that your axe is tightly attached to your belt. Then, get in the saddle. It's time for you to get to the crossroads north from here. I wonder if any of this changes based on how you treat the people when you first come in. Like, I tried to be reserved but respectful at the same time. So I wonder if that's why they helped us. I wonder if we just kind of walk in there, we don't take the watch, we just sleep, we eat the food. Maybe they don't take care of us. I'm just very curious, that's all. All right. I need to ride north. Travel. Travel forward to continue your journey. Once you're done with the north, speak with Tulia to return to Hovlivin. Oh, I'm liking this. Nighttime shelter. So I guess we learn more as we explore. Travel north. Oh. So far the soundtrack is really good. Even at a later hour, you wouldn't expect to meet any travelers in the valley. The warm summer breeze lures your mount forward, but the serene chirping of birds is quickly replaced by the distracting screeches and gurgles coming from further down the path. You soon find the pack of four-legged griffins. They're larger than foxes and merge the features of birds and furred beasts. Each one is of a different size, coat, and colors, and their temperaments are just as varied. Their fronts are covered with vivid feathers, while their rears have darker fur. Their wings are massive, making them impressive jumpers, but they're too heavy to fly. About 24 beasts are yelling, brawling, and chasing each other around, blocking your path. Wow, so this is just a little bit north. All this chaos is kind of happening just with the wilds. I consider my options. Ooh. This icon marks the action that involves the RNG. Okay, I like a little bit of RNG. If you have any vitality points, you can use the warrior's training to access unique interactions. Okay, so you spend your vitality. Ooh. I'm curious about what the what the defeat penalties are, if there is. Is it just permadeath? Like if you run out of vitality, you dead? You can't enter the forest blindly. If these or other creatures were to chase after you, the thicket would be disastrous for your horse. There are reasons why travelers stay as close to the main roads as possible, and why adventurers move in groups. Usually, the safest approach would be to stay where you are and just wait for the pack to get hungry. It may, however, take up to a couple of hours. You're thinking about your conversation with Tulia, you've got a lot to do, and time may be of the essence. Oh... Wait for the pack to get hungry, but it's going to take a bunch of hours. Force. Use violent or a direct threat. So I guess using this will be our vitality points. I do not want to use our vitality. We only got 2. I take my axe and hurry the horse. If we ride fast enough, we should be fine. I should stay here. Better safe than sorry. I grab my crossbow. A light hit should be enough to make them scatter. We only have, if I remember correctly, we only have 3 shots with the crossbow. Difficult to make and value for the use of it. Crossbows can be used even by an inexperienced. So I'm guessing the crossbow can be like a free way out. But I don't know if I want to waste them right now. I'm leaning towards just stay here. With griffins and other wild animals coming, I don't want to risk the horse, especially tiring it out earlier on in the travels. Maybe if we were more deep in, then we would want to do a little sprint, but I think we're going to stay here. Better safe than sorry. Yeah. You can learn more about your abilities in the character sheet. Let's take a look at that quickly. Oh, look at this. After years of training to become a fighter, to gather enough dragon bones to save my siblings from debt collectors. So cool that they update that. So force. While your vitality is above 0, you find ways to overcome physical struggles. Advanced training. You have an advantage during physical interactions that involve random chance. Also, you just have to have above 0. So maybe I just screwed up there. Maybe I missed an opportunity. I think I misunderstood that. Okay, good to know. We'll experiment with that in the future. While you're observing the griffins from a safe distance, you allow your horse to graze for a bit. Occasionally, you see other smaller animals, but you spend your time undisturbed. After almost 2 hours of waiting, 2 of the larger beasts engage in what looks to you like savage combat, but results in merely knocking one of them on its side. The defeated griffin stands up, completely unharmed, preening its feathers bashfully, while the champion walks away proudly, followed by the other members of its pack. They disappear among the trees. I was also kind of hoping that they would kill some animals, and then we could go and harvest them for meat, and get some free juicy jumbos. I'm ready to move forward. We are hungry. Keep track of your achievements as your journey unfolds.
My name is Stoutworthy. I used to be a fighter, you see.
The road splits according to what the soldiers have told you. You may find a safe inn by turning left. The forest to the right is lush and the trail overgrown. Kids used to have this song. How did it go?
The harshest pathway leads to the dragon's lair. Those who search for treasure, do you truly dare?
The signpost in front of you doesn't make your situation much clearer. It was put here by someone who can't write. For folks who can't read, covered in old red paint, it points east. Blood there. As people say, danger to be found. There's not a soul to ask for guidance. I think like when we first talked, we mentioned going to the inn first. I would like to get cleaned up. I would like to get a fresh stock of rations and talk to that guy a little bit. And the inn is turning left. Okay, I look at my horse.
Oh, we get to name the horse?
Holy crap. We're gonna name him, we're gonna name him Gordon. Gordon, shall we? No, let's not get too weird. It's gonna be Gordon or Gordy for short. Gordon is focused. Maybe it can't help you choose a path, but it's well trained. As long as you don't try to charge at a troll, you can count on it. You spot a few berry shrubs and wild cabbages, but they still need at least 2 weeks to gain maturity. Oh, time to make a turn. Okay, travel. Explore east, explore west. So they said left. A point connecting the deepest forest of the east, the western wetlands and the road to Hoblivin. You are currently here. We want to go left, which would be west. Oh, there's the inn. Gordon trots with ease, unbothered by the few branches covering the beaten road. The bird songs and distant howls draw your attention to the forest, which gets sparser and brighter. You spot boars, roe deer, and saurians. The sight of a nearby wolf pack worries you, but once you push your hips forward and your palfrey enters a canter, the beasts don't even begin a pursuit. The speed alone will protect you from many dangers. You notice a stone tower taller than the trees. That must be the inn that we've heard about. Oh, that's very quaint. Inns like this one fit the regions traveled by merchants, but you wouldn't expect a place of this size in a forsaken peninsula. The stone and lumber must have been transported from far away, and the workers, guarded by expensive mercenaries, surely lived for many seasons in a primitive hamlet, subsisting on salted supplies. Oh, that's a hard one to say. Subsisting on salted supplies. There are seemingly no cracks in the wall, and the building was whitewashed only a few years back. Okay. Whenever I see the word whitewash now, I just go to the Kingdom Come Delivers. What was that guy's name? We gotta throw down at his freshly whitewashed wall. Anyway, the road is wide and beat. If you know it, you know it. Dozens of souls could hide, if not in the buildings, then at least in the yard. The expenses and labor put into this fortress were worth many trading ships. Wow. 3 armed people are on the ramparts, though you only see what's above their waistline. They're leaning on the parapet, right next to the gate, and you think you notice a glimpse of a smile. They wear gambesons, each one of them dyed differently, yellow, green, and linen gray. I approach the gate. It is me. A woman in yellow armor leans forward. She has long, curly, disorderly red hair, pointing in every possible direction. This combination of colors doesn't work at all. In the woods, one would have to shout to draw this much attention. There's still a fair distance between the two of you, but she speaks loudly.
I hadn't seen a horse for years now. I just said it's weird to see such a large jack.
Her voice is young and strong, with an accent that reminds you of the villages spread around Hoblivin.
Hey, but no jackets would wear saddles, say?
She exchanges a few words with a male guard wearing green, giving you time to move closer.
Well, this one here says there really are donkey saddles. Say, traveler, how does it to ride a horse?
Is that an accent? I don't know what that is. It just came in. It appeared in my mouth. I'm sorry. We got to talk to this lady. Are we gonna be friendly, supportive, and cordial? There's no reason to be distanced right now. You know, she seems kind of fun. It's young and strong. It reminds you of the villages around the Hoblivin area. Okay. Be supportive and cordial. Let's see what this is. How about you give it a try? I laugh. You wouldn't believe it. The lessons were a pain. So this could work. It's easy to learn the basics, but it's tiring. You train different muscles in for the horse combat. I don't answer. It's an inn, isn't it? Open the gate. Quite hard, honestly. Some days you're still rough on me. I would love to play through this game and just be a very vulnerable person the whole time. Just be a consistently vulnerable person. Now Reginald is not a very playful person. He's kind of like rough around the edges, but he does enjoy a little bit of cordiality. How about you give it a try? She gasps. I forgot her voice.
Seriously? Just a moment.
She disappears behind the wall. And soon after that, the gate is opened. While you dismount, next to the wood-splitting spot, a couple of people surround you, pointing at your mount and commenting on its appearance, though they step away whenever Gaudy makes a rapid movement. The guard in the yellow armor is the only one who steps forward. She raises her hands as if to pet your palfrey, but doesn't touch it.
It looks smaller from above.
She whispers loudly. She whispers loudly.
How do I get up there?
It's not easy when you lack confidence. Oh wait, this is
Well, it's not easy when you lack confidence. You better use a stool.
Or, well, perhaps I can help you. Yeah. She touches the animal, which pays no attention to her presence.
Now I'm really scared.
She contradicts her words with a gentle smile and shiny eyes.
Maybe I should wear something lighter.
You nod and engage in a bit of chit-chat with the entire group, discussing what it takes to take care of a horse. Finally, the red-haired woman leads you under the roof where your palfrey can rest, tethered with a cord to a wooden post near some old hay.
Once you're ready, go inside, speak with our boss. Maybe you're hungry.
The other guards return to various chores. They peek at your mount every now and then as they're splitting firewood, cleaning their clothes, weeding the garden patches, and moving chairs. 2 of them are making a rope. You head toward the inn, hearing the piercing scream of a boar from the other side of the yore. That's a friendly place. I don't know. I think there's something special going on between old Stout here and this lovely lady with a very strange and evolving accent. I open the door.
New shelter unlocked. Let's go.
Only some of the windows are open, revealing the dust dancing in the sunbeams. The air is a bit stuffy. A muscular man is sweeping the floor near the stairs, but after he glances at you, he leans the broom against the wall and heads behind the counter.
You're lucky to show up.
His voice is deep and soft, with a city-like accent. He observes you with keen attention, yet avoids your eyes.
I've got a keg of decent ale. Wormwood, bog myrtle, juniper berries, cat's foot.
He fills a mug carefully and puts it on the countertop.
It's got to spoil soon, said. Today, maybe, you know. Well, we don't drink here before the even. I hate to see the good stuff going to waste.
His skin is dark, almost purple, rare even among the southern tribes, and his hair is naturally bluish. His clothes are quite fancy for manual labor. The elegant tunic wouldn't stand out in the city square. Maybe this guy has something to do with his merchant's guild? I stand at the counter. The planks let out a creak after every step you make, so you slow down a bit. You could swear that the innkeeper made little to no noise.
Here you go.
He pushes the mug forward.
But just so you know, my Pelt of the North doesn't belong to the Hove living. You can sleep on the floor if you wish so, but if you want a bed or a meal, you're gonna have to pay. We may have some leftovers from dinner, but I need to check.
All right, so we gotta pay. How much money do we have? How much money do we got? Where's our dragon bones? Traveler said. A pouch with coins. We got 5 dragon bones. Thanks for the drink. I see you know how to make friends with a Roadwarden. Happy to help. As a Roadwarden, I'm more than capable of taking care of the entire cask if you need me to. I won't stay here long. I'm not here to pay compliments and to piss in a mug. I'm a Roadwarden. I'm looking for answers. I do like this intimidating thing. Reginald Stoutworthy is an intimidating man, but only when he's been wronged. You know, only when someone has insulted his nobility. Thank you, I'm a Roadwarden, so I never refuse a free drink. I think we just kind of stay friendly. Thanks for the drink. You know how to make friends. Because that's also kind of saying, like, we understand each other. You need me, I need you, let's work together. I kind of like this one. He meets your eye with a puzzled look, then grabs a wet cloth and starts to wipe down the shelves. From time to time, your conversation is interrupted by splashes of dirty water in a wooden bucket.
Where another's truly free. I have worked for a soul of the road, but I don't need a new mouth to babble.
He speaks slowly, yet audibly.
I value my time. You should value yours.
I drink the ale. I ignore the ale and tell the man I have a call. Wait, we can't turn down a nice stout. We are Stoutworthy after all. The dark room and wooden walls of the mug make the liquid look as brown as a chestnut. Oh, it sounds delicious. The lee in spring hits your nose, and the first sip is even too complex, too flowery, while the brewer has used fancy ingredients. The exotic licorice ruins the aftertaste. Licorice? Disgusting! Get that out of here! We don't want licorice in our brews! Get that out of here! Now you know why there's so much left. Maybe it takes an acquired taste. The innkeeper nods.
I was hoping to see someone willing to patrol the roads. Maybe you'll help me with a worrying thought that I have.
Which is?
Well, there's brigands in the woods. Our place is a stronghold, so I'm not afraid of an open strike. But they got more active in the last 2 years. One day they may steal our furs. And I've no doubt they're the reason why merchants come here only once. Having bandits around gets expensive.
He rubs his hands together, camouflaging his paws.
I want you to reach the Howler's Dell. Northwest of here. It's the largest settlement around. I'm sure you'll get there sooner or later. Ask Thias, the mayor, about glaucoma. That bloodthirsty wolf of a woman. I've heard rumors about a raid in the north. If Glaucia's ready to break the truce with the locals, I'm willing to join forces with him to get rid of her band.
He looks at a nearby dragon bone.
Not too difficult, right? Just do it when you have a chance. A couple of days won't make much of a difference. I'll pay you 2 coins when you get back with the news. Fine?
Oh. This man is a business establishment owner, and he is wearing fancy, wealthy clothes. We know he's got the coin. We know he can pay up, and we know he probably appreciates the old haggle waggle. All right. However, I was so focused on the voice, I actually have no idea what this said. Let me. He wants us to go to the Howler's Den, and there's a horrible woman there. Okay, so he wants to join forces with them to get rid of the band. 3. He observes you for a moment. 2. He growls. I could eat something. Do you have any leftovers? What do you have for sale? Do I have anything you'd like to buy? Oh, you can sell stuff too. I'm looking for Asterion, the previous Roadwarden. What can you tell me about the peninsula? I didn't expect to find any of this size in a place such as this. About glaucoma's band. Any rumors worth sharing? That's all I need. I go outside. Let's start with getting some food in our belly. Do you have any leftovers?
Yeah, feed them to up, boy. I won't give them away for nothing.
He tells you to wait, then leaves the building for a few minutes and returns with a wooden bucket and a long stick ending with a hook.
Go through the gate and turn left. You'll see a bunch of bushes. We need some berries. Bring me a bucket full. You'll be done in half an hour or so. Your horse could use a nap anyway, and I'll prepare something to fill you.
The hook is not made of metal or wood. It's a long curved claw, almost black. I reach for the tools. Half an hour? That's quite a lot for berry picking. Do I look like someone who forages for berries? Now, I think it's probably gonna be handy to do this. Free food, all that kind of stuff. However, I gotta stick to the character. He would be offended at this. He's got bigger and more important things to be doing right now than scrounging in the berry bush to get berries. I won't do that.
Do I look like someone who forages for berries? And do I look like someone who cares? I didn't expect a traveler to be afraid of some splinters.
He shrugs and puts the tools away.
Fine, but I won't cook just for you. I can sell you some food rations. That's about it.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, before we do the shopping, we're looking for Asterion, the previous road owner.
Are you now?
He goes to the table and invites you to sit down with him.
I don't think I'm going to be much help.
He rests his elbow on the table and tabletop and grunts quietly to clear his throat.
But I do want you to find him, so...
When asked about his intentions, he measured his words.
Well, Asterion and I made a risky deal. Well, a very promising one. Last time he was here, he took 50 coins. My half of the investment, you see.
He knocks on the table with a fist anxiously.
If you can get my coin, or at least find out what happened to the guy, I'll make sure you won't be disappointed after bringing me the news.
Could it be that Asterion
stole the coins and ran away?
He looks at a window and starts to play with the shutter.
I just think Asterion ain't that kind of soul that would do such a thing. For him, it wasn't much of a fortune, and I risk saying he had earned my trust. Not only mine, it's easy for a Roadwarden to make connections. He always had places to go, things to take care of.
He rubs the table with his thumb, as if trying to clean an invisible stain.
Now, I've asked travelers. I've sent a couple of my pals out there to find him. No real news. I know he stayed in the White Marshes for about a day, and was meant to do something for the people there. Look, it's a village in the northwest. Just stay on the main road until you reach the bogs, then enter them. You may get there before dusk. So, let me know once you find anything, and we may yet return to this whole investment thing. Well, think about it.
He nods.
Well, what else do you need?
What can you tell me about the peninsula?
What could anyone say? This place doesn't even have a name, unless there's an old book in an archive that no soul knows about. You know what I'd call everything from here to the coast? The hunting ground.
He glances at your eyes.
But it's not us who hunt. Keep that in mind. The beasts are all in shapes and forms.
Okay, there's a lot of speaking. There's a lot of speaking. I need to take a quick sip to refresh. Oh, that's good. Okay, I'm gonna pause on the voice acting for a little bit. His words gains confidence slowly, which is strengthened by his deep voice. I've lived in this inn for over 10 years now, and I've only seen a couple of roads, a couple of places. It's just, once you get here, and you see how harsh it is to hit the road, you have only more reasons to stay at the warm stove, behind a wall, even if it's suffocating. He looks towards the windows. I'm sure you've heard a lot already, that the people don't build hamlets anymore. There are no more ibexes or ibexes. I know the animal, but I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyway, from the south, and the traders stay for only a few days. All of our iron is used for cauldrons, not swords or tools. What will I find traveling west? Are the eastern roads as rough as I heard? What will I find if I keep going west? We've already started in that direction. Well, there are hills nearby, then you'll find a village. Maybe an hour away from here. It was destroyed by beasts almost a decade ago. Nothing to see there. The goblins live there now, so most people just travel around it, and they say it's haunted. But who knows? Who cares? He crosses his arms and starts to sway back and forth, gathering his thoughts. You'll get to a large tree on the edge of the swamp. For the locals, it's sacred. You're not used to hearing someone mentioning pagans as if there's nothing unusual about them. There's a small path south which leads to an old mine in the mountains. Nothing to find there. But keep riding north and you'll find Howler's Dell, set at a clean brook. Farmers live there, and mouflons and druids. They'll let you stay for a night, but they're not cheap. If anyone thinks my prices are bad, it means they ain't been to the Ape Ale Inn yet. He lets out a gentle smile. I nod. I know only a bit about the next settlement, Old Pagos. The soil there ain't too fertile, so they work in their quarry and help other settlements build things in exchange for crops. The forests and hills ain't too harsh, but the Seekers have a small monastery nearby in the mountains. I don't care much about them. They keep to themselves, and they don't pay well. The third village is unknown to me, White Marshes. Set at the bogs, I've heard it smells like a griffin's lair. I've heard a lot about nasty rumors about the place. I won't share them. I don't want to be a lie spreader. So, 3 villages really. Howler's, the one near the monastery, whatever it's called, and Marshes. Don't let their beds and palisades fool you though. Weird people live there. Don't tell them more than you need to. You wonder if it's something he would tell other travelers as well. Are the eastern roads as rough as I heard? Pretty much. Don't leave the main road, I'd say. Not so far from here, you'll find an old dolmen. A few of my people had to spend a night there, and monkeys stole food and gods from their bags. It was their fault. One of them had fallen asleep in the middle of his watch, but you know, the eastern forests are wild. The roads are rough. Almost no souls live there. One day, all these roads will be swallowed by the trees again. The furthest my team has ever gone was the home of the Enchantress. Just stay on track until you reach the crossroads right near an abandoned watchtower. From there, turn east. You'll recognize the place. It's a nice home in a lonely meadow surrounded by a wall. He looks towards the closed window, then at you again. Kind of like our walls, but simpler, without coating. She lives as a hermit. Eudocia. I don't even know how she survives there, but if you don't have decent corn, you won't find much. That everybody wants that money. We are poor as hell. So back to the crossroads. If you turn left instead, you'll see a road. People stay away from it. It connects the tower and the monastery, a shortcut between the two sides of the peninsula. I was warned by the locals not to use it. It already belongs to the beasts. If you turn left instead at the crossroads, you'll see a road. This is a lot of information. I have no idea how much I need to commit to memory. I have the memory of a young squirrel, you see. So I apologize in advance if I start doing things in this game and everyone who has normal human brains knows that I've already learned about this stuff and I'm just fumbling my way through. Have you ever been to the northern coast? I only know about another inn. It's far from here, maybe a day on foot, a bit less from the eastern side. His eyes once again focus on the floor. I've never been there, but I've heard it's a safe place, close to villages of fishers and hunters, though I don't know much about them. That's all I need. All right. I think we're going to want to try and help this guy out in some way. I have no idea how much doing these side quests, I'm assuming this is side quest, will impact the future of the game. He freezes, observing your hand silently. He wants me to get the answer from the mayor of Howler's Den. Okay, so that's just turning it in. So I feel like we're going to be able to come back here and get more information. So maybe I don't need to exhaust all this stuff just yet. Like any rumors we're sharing, we don't need to do that yet. I don't really care about that right now. That could be later on, I think. What do you have for sale? New trader unlocked. I can go and pick up a few things for you. Some food for your travels to start with. Apples, nuts, sausage, not too many at once. We need to maintain our supplies. I've got an elk fur I don't need. Its buyer was caught by a pack of red wolves. Nice for a sleeping spot. Ooh, just as nice for a wall. An almost untouched bowl of soap. Prices for a traveler. You can't tell if he's being sarcastic. Made of fine oak ash. Strong, though you should have some better supplies before you start your own bathhouse. After you mention you'd like something more useful on these roads, he looks down. I don't have any blades or armor to spare, but if you pay well, you can take one of our crossbows and a bunch of quarrels. A yew-bow, wool cords, and the triggers needs just a little bit of oil. It's as good as you can get without soaking it in magic. Takes a bit of muscle to draw, but even a 16-year-old could handle it. I won't sell it cheap, but I'm ready to give a discount to a helpful ally. Okay, so if we can do his quest, we're going to get some discounts on this guy. So I'm going to hold back from buying anything. Aside from food, an elk. Oh, this would be so good to have, right? Food rations, a box of soap, a set of 5 arrows for a crossbow. We have 5 gold so far. I want more food. You can buy more. Oh, 3. Okay. I thought I just spent 3 gold. So that's pretty good. An oak basket bomb that burns skin on longer contact. We are looking pretty stanky. Let's get some of that. I'm tempted to get... Oh, that's almost all our money. And we know we're going to be hitting other places where we may need... Like, I would like to sleep. Let's keep the money. We got 3 shots. Let's use them wisely. Okay, return. Do I have anything you'd like to buy? Different traders are interested in different goods. I will purchase only some things that sell. You pull out some items, but the innkeeper shakes his head. I don't need those, nor can I sell them anywhere. I'd rather make coins than waste them. So bring me something of value. I pack my things. All right, that's all I need. Let's go outside. You step outside. Gordon is fighting off flies with his tail. You hear the clinking of tools coming from the armorer's workshop. I head to the armorer. You walk past the well and find a small, open shed, not unlike the stable, but with a humble set of tables, carving tools, hammers, sharpening saws, pincers, knives, and other tools. As long as something can be solved by brute force, this place will find a way to do so. There are 2 people sitting on a long bench. The first one is a male with maybe inch-long hair, a cleanly shaven face, a thin, long, yellow tunic, bare legs, and sandals. He ignores your presence, sewing a gambeson with great concentration. The second person is a boy, maybe 15, who is wearing the crude outfit of a farmer. He glances at you, but soon returns to sharpening a long dagger.
Greetings!
The man raises his head, but it's the boy who speaks. Focused on his task.
He ain't talking. Tell him what it is that you need.
The man smiles in confirmation, looks at the piece of garment in his hands, then looks around, shrugs, and returns to you with a raised eyebrow. Maybe not right now, but I may be in need of your services. Could you patch my clothes if they were torn? Oh, so I guess this is like the armor fixer. New trader unlocked. He nods, points to the laces on your jacket, raises his clenched fingers to his shoulders, then gently spreads and lowers them. If he's taken off a robe, you follow his command and allow him to properly inspect your gambeson. After a few moments, he gives it back, then reaches for his pouch. He pulls out 1 dragon bone, shrugs, then another one, and waves both of them in the air, pursing his lips. He makes a few speech-like noises with his empty mouth, groaning what sounds like, I don't know. So I guess he's saying like 1, 2 dragon bones, I don't know. I consider his offer. Your jacket is as good as this armor can make it. All right, let's go back. Adjustments. He nods enthusiastically, but then apologetically points behind him at a small box filled with basic tools. He ain't that experienced, says. Okay, so we can upgrade as well. Oh, this has more depth to it than I expected. Are you learning the trade? Kind of, he answers reluctantly, but his teacher pats his knee, giving him a harsh look. The kid clears his throat. Yes, but we both ain't masters, you see. There's not a soul to teach us, so once I'm ready, I'll try hunting instead. Fixing things for others is boring. The man grunts a sound. Though you don't understand it. Seeing your face, the boy chuckles. He said, safe. Let's meet in the middle. Boring, but safe. The man nods. That's cute. Alright. Let's I go to the well. Can we get some sippy sippies? Let's go to the well. The recently renovated wooden roofs cover the well from rain and birds. One of the guards is enjoying the cold drink he drew with a bucket and tells you to only use as much water as is necessary. The oak-shaped soap you own can help you get cleaner. You need 3 pieces of bathing equipment to get more out of this place. Pardon me. I wash my shell? Are we Ninja Turtles? Splashing yourself with cold water from the bucket won't take away your smell, but it's enough to remove the tallow and sweat from your skin, or mud stains from your clothes. I won't get any cleaner here. Okay, we got a little bit of a bonus. A step away. I would like to take a break at the inn to get more vitality and nourishment. I guess I need to just eat rations? Hold on. Oh, we can't just like sleep here. Starvation weakens you in the physical struggles. Okay. Inventory. So if I go to the food rations, can I just eat one of these? Eat a food ration to increase your nourishment by 2. Most travelers spend their nights in taverns as a village. Okay, so you won't restore health while sleeping. Ah. We're going to eat right before we head out, just to maximize, just in case we get something lucky. I approach the guards. The woman in yellow is kneeling next to a brown, hairy boar, which is resting on its side. The beast is not as large as the dark ones from the forest. It responds to the touch of the human's hand and brush, with grateful grunting and rapid twitches of its hind hoof. It's a pet! No matter how friendly it appears, it's still tethered to the well, and you have no doubts that its charge would leave Gordon dead in a breath. When the woman notices you, she steps forward to the boar's disappointment. So, the new Roadwarden, she points at a window with her chin, forestalling the question. We don't need anything now, but when we travel with our furs, we can use some assistance. She may be around 30, but her warm voice and bright smile are camouflaging the touch of a time on her unpowdered face. Like many red-haired people with freckles, her skin is unhealthily pale. The boar runs up to her, observing your boots, and fruitlessly sniffing for food beneath the beating ground. She pats its back, but maintains her focus. How about a game or two? We have a bit of time, and can talk a bit about this and that. Maybe you'll get a couple coins or lose one, she winks. We could play dice or throw axes at a target. Oh, let's go! I think we would probably be much better at throwing axes, right? Axe throwing? Show me what you've got. Your arrival, and especially the dragon bone you pull out, are cheerfully welcomed. The guards prepare a couple of wooden planks which are leaned against the wall. There are also spectators, and you're told that the other hunters are either sleeping or have duty on the tower. Remember, no magic, says one of the players. His face is deadly serious. There's going to be 4 participants in 8 rounds. Holy crap. You aim at the target. Like, these guys just threw this together. They were waiting. They've probably been waiting for years for someone to come along and say yes to throwing axes. The person whose axe lands the closest to the center of the circle gets the point. Axes that fail to stay in the plank don't count. The person who has the most points at the end of the last turn becomes Jevena. I blend in with the group. I belong here. Time is ticking, I just realized. I'm getting sidetracked. You talk a lot, but also don't say much. You share casual jokes, memories, and views on luck and optimal strategies. Gordon and Tulia's camp are also brought up, but when you ask about the roads or the locals, their stories are vague. Huh. The drinks are here. It's a poor beer made from the leftovers after the regular brewing. It's cold, sweet, and doesn't reach your head, but you try to avoid the smell. Just don't spill anything. The boar may get sick, says the opponent with one arm. That's concerning. As a guest, you start with the first throw. Your axe flies well, hitting the very middle of the painted target and piercing the plank with a pleasant thud, which makes it really difficult for the other players to outperform you. A minute later, you've won the first round, but you can't be expected to be that lucky every time. Use violence or a direct threat. As an experienced warrior, you gain an advantage during physical struggles. I don't want to like... I want to see what this does for science. Is that just like... Is force always going to say that? Use violence or a direct threat? Is that like just the flavor text? It's always that? Or is it telling me that in this unique situation, I will be using violence or a direct threat? I want to play fair. I don't want to like kill the competition. Let's try it though. Oh, okay. It just changes what we're talking about. All I can do. I've trained an axe throwing. Okay, so this is not selected. that is selected. I wish it kind of glowed or something, so I know that it's been selected. I've trained in axe throwing for years. I've got this. Oh, balls! Even though you get 2 points, the girl in yellow armor gets 1 more. Yes, she raises her fist and nods to the spectators, who chuckle at her cheeky pride. After you give her your coin, she looks you in the eyes with a smile. I feel like someone just gave me the riggy diggy. All right. The innkeeper asked me to forage berries. Yeah, what's all that about? She chuckles. Oh, don't worry about it. Usually we forage by ourselves, but he wouldn't ask you for a dragon for a meal. He gives small jobs to people all the time just to see who agrees to do them. Wants to judge who's of use and who's too proud for their own good. Uh-oh. If you'd agreed, be sure to get those berries today and don't try to take his tools away. He hates thieves. Crap. Have you ever been to the heart of the woods? We sometimes hunt south from there. There are good hunting grounds in the western half. The second one is too overgrown. Maybe the soil is different. She shrugs, then moves the hair away from her forehead. But it's a risky spot. There are treants there. Oh god. And wolves, even the furthest ones. And if you have to go through the tall grasses, watch out for what's on the ground. There ain't many archers in the trees. She smiles as if it's a joke. But there are too many worms, even larger than the water leech. Pardon me? Tell me about yourself. Oh, what was that? After Bree giggled, her voice gets cold and serious. Nah, Roadwarden, we use names and stories among friends. You ain't one. Don't make me tempt curses. Pardon me, we've had a good interchange, and you just took my money, damn it. I have some questions about this place. Ooh, this is a lot. That's an unusual tower, expected to be closer to the gate and shorter. An interesting creature is living by. Your group seems to be quite attached to this boar. How could you not be? She crouches and rages boar's head, but it steps away and squeals if someone's murdering it. It came with us from the city just in case. We had no clue how our first winter would go, so we needed some backup meat, and it works too, cleans the dirt. She reaches out to the beast again, but it trots away. The woman straightens up with a pleased sigh. We haven't needed to eat so far, but it's also funny. I learned in my home village that the farm boars are getting a bit smaller and more cuddly, kind of like ibixes. So it's not such a wild, dangerous beast, but we don't let it get close to other animals or children. Yeah, that's fair. Have you heard anything about the necromancers? It's something new. Her voice lowers to a whisper. I've never been to the White Marshes, but over the years we've seen people moving away from there south. They told us that the place has changed too much. A priest died, I think. And the new one's awakening the dead. Sorry, Roadwarden, that's all I know. If she's hiding something, she sounds convincing. I love how it adds this little extra little flavor text there, as if you need to kind of suss out and gain trust among the people. Okay, thanks. We can hopefully talk about more of that stuff later. I walk away. I guess now we can just travel. Okay. Travel. Trader Taylor. Wow. So, it appears there. Okay, hold on a second. Let's take a quick look at the journal. Quests. We got a bunch of them. According to the Pelt's innkeep, Glossier and her band have broken the truce with the local villagers. He's going to pay me 2 dragons, that's it, if I get in touch with Thias, the mayor of Howler's Den, and bring him her response. Before I became the Roadwarden, so we gotta find this guy. I've heard in Pelt that right before Astarion's disappearance, the innkeeper gave him 50 dragons for some sort of investment. Astarion was last seen in White Marshes, a village in the northwest. Okay. And this is just basically exploring the place and getting a whole bunch of information. So we want to look for Howler's Den again. Groups and places. Howler's Den. A prosperous village of farmers and animals breeders set along the western road. So this is perfect. We need to go west and northwest. So let's continue in that direction. Travel west. The road uphill meanders, slowing you down and forcing you to pay close attention not only to the shadows of the trees, but also to the tight rocky passages. You can't help but notice a few caves and fine ambush spots. I just realized this weakens me in physical struggles. So probably if I had food in me, I might have won that axe throwing competition. You know what? Let's have some food. You can't. No. Okay, we're learning. I keep an eye out for any signs of life. New entry, the ruined village. I want to eat as soon as possible. Please, can I eat? Beautiful. You experience no penalties nor bonuses. Let's fill right up. Okay. Standing in front of the gate, you hear no voices, no tools at work, no steps. Dozens of birds live among the collapsed roofs. Their fluttering, singing, and squawking is free of worries. If you want to travel any further, you need to ride around the palisade. Searching the ruins may take a lot of time. The broken gate in the north will lead you to the village. The sound of a gentle river reaches you from the east, where you see a saggy fence surrounding an overgrown pasture. Behind the burnt building in the east, you see an oddly barren field. Behind the burnt building in the east, an oddly barren field. We need to end up going towards the village. But I am very curious about, so like, this will head north. Here's that burnt village. I love this helps so much with me just like piecing it together. I kind of want to check out this building near the field. But this is just take a closer look. Let's go for the building. The broken logs and planks are charred, while the wooden walls are rotten covered in moss. You see no ashes or dust, proving that the fire happened long ago. The smell is awful, and there are no reasons to stay for long. You see no furniture, just some broken shelves. It was just a storage room. The valuable odds and ends were already taken by the scavengers. I take a closer look at the gate. Journal updated. The palisade is in good shape, and the entrance wasn't even touched by the fire. It was torn away, possibly thrown. The amount of used force must have been huge, but you'd expect that it would push the gate into the village, not away from it. You don't see any marks of a dragon bite. A troll could toss such planks, but after so many years, you see no paw prints. A mage? You can't really tell. Yeah, that's a good point. If someone is trying to get into the village, they'd be blowing the door into the village. But this is blown backwards, as if something was trying to get out. Fascinating. Where do you want to go? I explore the southwest part of the village. I inspect the fields in the southwest. I inspect the pastures to the southeast. Let's start with the southwest. Yeah, let's check the fields. Oh, so cool. You're surrounded by what looks like a field plowed in late autumn, disturbed by hundreds of rains and snowfalls. There's a few clumps of grass and wheat, but a place like this one, abandoned for years, should already have turned itself into a green lea. A barren field, maybe it was overused, but you would still expect the weeds to sprout. A curse? There's curses in this game. The path leading west from here ends at the edge of the field, shifting into a meadow, then a forest. In the north, you see a path leading around the palisade. I don't have a way to investigate, so maybe if we have certain tools? Ooh, it looks like there's a hole in the palisade over here. Let's take a look. We've come this far. Oh, wow. The tracks of human footwear and many, many more ape footprints cover the path formed around the palisade's breach. As far as you can tell, the freshest footprints lead to the village. The wooden stakes spread on the ground are rotten, covered in mushrooms, small flowers, insects, and worms, a good source of animal or goblin food, though you'd expect them to also hunt for the birds and eggs. The meadow in the west turns into a forest quickly. The grasses in the north surround dozens of tree stumps, already covered with moss and fungi. Going south, you'll reach a large field, though you don't see any crops. I shouldn't enter the forest, especially not in this area, it's unpredictable. I agree. We don't want to go there. You feel a slight aching in your stomach. Did we eat too much? Where do you want to go? An aching in my stomach, pardon me. The clearing to the west, the northwest part of the village. I'm thinking each action is going to progress time, isn't it? So maybe the way I play games is explore every single crevasse. You know, you got to get the loot hunt. It could be anything. But maybe this game is going to punish you for doing that. It even mentioned exploring everything is going to take a lot of time. And it seems like some places we might need to revisit later with the right tools. So normally I would go and explore the opposite end. do all down here, then go up here, and et cetera, et cetera. But I think let's just go into the village. The northwest part of the village. And then we'll hit the main square. The colorful grass covers the entire fenced pasture. The large stone placed in the middle suggests it could be a playground for ebexes, or maybe it's just an old garden. You see a couple of small sheds, a latrine, and a single building to the south, completely burnt down. All of these places were cleaned out by scavengers. Gordon doesn't want to approach the large rooms. Oh, what's the matter, Gordon? The terrible stench of feces and rotted food scares you off as well. The paths are covered with goblin footprints. Wait, people were pooping where their food was? I don't know about this village. It's daytime, so the pack should be asleep. It's covered with goblin footprints. It's daytime, so the pack should be asleep. If the beasts were active, they would try to scare you off or to hunt down your mount. This is their territory, and once they wake up, you'll face a furious enemy. I go somewhere else quietly. Your stomach makes you let out a painful groan. Where do you want to go? Well, I think... Is it the beer? Is it the beer? That damn black licorice beer? Let's go to the main square. In every village, the main square is the fanciest area, meant to charm the travelers. Yet this is way more than you expected. The houses were as big as in Hovlevin, and the paved ground took a lot of work and materials. The walls, now charred and riddled with holes, are made of an expensive coated wattle. I want to know what a wattle is. The tiles for the roofs also had to be brought here from a different settlement. You peek inside the 3 smaller buildings, the rotting remains of their former splendor. The birds living in dozens of nests respond to your arrival with quite a commotion. You don't find even a single dragon bone, nor tool or a piece of furniture left unbroken or unrodden. You're surrounded by bad smells, dirt, animal droppings, and garbage. The well also stinks. It has no bucket, but you'll be afraid to use it anyway. Who knows how many birds have relieved themselves inside, or how many old rats have found their death while climbing up the walls. Suddenly, you hear some sounds coming from the largest building. You stop and touch your aching stomach. This stomach thing is really concerning me, but we gotta know. I prepare my axe. You step cautiously toward the scent of urine and sweat. The flickering candlelight shows your broken furniture, yet no signs of burnt wood. You consider pulling the other door when a masculine voice proves that your presence is not unnoticed. I didn't want you to come to this, but stay where you are. Whatever you put inside, be it a shoe, a hand, or you damn thinker, it'll get aboard. Alright, I love this man. Friendly. Use a joke or a witty comment. Okay, what is this? Relax, stranger, I'm a Roadwarden. I'm a Roadwarden, so I kind of need my thinker. Will a boot be enough? I'm the new Roadwarden, let's talk. Are you really going to bet everything on a single shot? Don't miss or I'll get angry enough to swing my axe. Don't hurt me, I'm not looking for trouble, I'm a Roadwarden. See, this person has threatened us. So we're not going to be friendly or playful. He is sweating. The scent of urine and sweat. He's been hiding in here for some time, peeing in the corner, and he is scared. He is scared. So there's 2 things that can happen when you threaten a scared person. They cower, or they shoot you. However, I feel like we should announce to him that we're the Roadwarden. This guy seems to be like the leftover of the settlement, right? The goblins came in, 8 people broke down the place. He is not a bandit or something like that, so saying we're a Roadwarden is probably going to be better. So I think I'm just going to hide the emotions. We just go in, I'm the new Roadwarden, let's talk. And if he decides to disrespect us one more time, then we go in throwing. I'm the new Roadwarden, let's talk. A short pause. Well, we can talk, we can. But how is it that you chose this place to visit from all that there are? He goes on before you respond. It may be you're telling the truth. So let's say this. My little ballista here is all pulled and ready, but you won't do anything stupid, right? No running, no jumping around, show your hands. The man's voice lacks confidence, and his accent is tricky for you. He could be from the distant south, but as long as you don't speak too quickly, you understand one another. You don't hear any other movements. breathing voices. You lean your axe against the doorframe and make sure that your knife is well hidden. I walk inside. The dense smell of urine hits you with full force, while the tools and utensils are hard to distinguish from the rubbish. The route to the upper floor is blocked by the collapsed roof and loose wooden beams. There are scrapes of rusting iron and steel on the ground, detached from now destroyed barrels. The scavenger is sitting on a blanket in front of the tent. Oh, so he is a scavenger. Pointing at the floor with his loaded crossbow. Not a short man, though a bit skinny. He's tanned, dark-haired, and has seen his share of struggles. There are long claw scars on his left cheek, and another one that would divide his eyebrow in half if it hadn't been consumed by a fire like the rest of his forehead. His clothes are untainted by vanity. He's barefoot in a dirty linen shirt with rolled-up sleeves and simple pants that use a cord for a belt. His long beard and hair are untrimmed and tangled. I sit on the stairs with raised hands. I'm not a threat. I stand near the door, watching his weapon. I'm prepared. We go in prepared. We don't trust anybody. This guy's a scavenger. Now that I know he's a scavenger, and he's jumpy, yeah, we don't want to risk anything. He follows your gaze. Hold on, I need to get a drink. One second. Okay, we're back. He follows your gaze.
Not a good way to make your ire warmer, eh? I try to be safe, that's all. And I can't let you stay in my shelter. You better ride ahead. I've already piled up whatever is rotten.
The candlelights are dancing on his burnt face and arms.
I saw you, horse. Maybe you could help me, huh? What are you looking for in this place? You don't sound like you're from the north.
I have no idea if I can do a Scottish accent, but that's what we're given, and that's what we're getting. I want to make sure there are no undead crawling around.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
The place is all burnt down, right? But if there's any corpses left unburnt, they're going to come back to life and eat us? I need to know the peninsula if I'm going to patrol it. I'm short on dragon bones. I wanted to see if there's anything left behind. I was wondering what caused this place to collapse. I've heard about some bandits. They could have a hideout nearby. I'm looking for another Roadwarden, a man named Asterion. I shrug. That's not your problem. I think we don't really reveal what our quests are or anything like that. I think we want to make sure there's no undead crawling around. We're here to keep the place safe. You know, patrolling the peninsula, that kind of stuff. Journal up to date, the ruined village. He nods.
I've seen none. People say it's been less than 10 years since the herds came. But I don't know anyone bothered with the rising of the pirates. If not, the dead are all roaming the forest by now.
He clicks his tongue with frustration.
Maybe that there's a walker somewhere under the debris, waiting to break through like a dragon an egg.
He looks straight at you.
Aye, you'd better not dig.
Listen. He scratches his thighs nervously.
I'm hungry. So damn hungry. I can't hunt or fish with all the ape men around. Can you share anything, Roadster? I may be a drifter, but I wouldn't beg if I had not lost my bags on the road.
I don't want to give him anything. Take these cereals and cracker? With some water, you'll have a gruel? I have a few prunes, a sausage, and some nuts. Should be enough for tomorrow as well. Oh, how generous do we want to be? Could this guy become like a companion or something? He scratches that. I'm hungry, so damn hungry. I can't hunt or fish with all the ape men around. Can you? I feel like if we don't share something, he might try and take it from us, which may not be a bad thing. But I don't want to say I need to save it myself, because then we're revealing that we have food and he may attack us. He's got the crossbow on us still right now, if I remember correctly. I may have something later on, so we might be able to come back, you know, see will he help us first? I think that may be the right thing to do. Maybe see if he helps us first, then we'll be more open to giving him things, if he answers some of our questions. How many do we have left? We have 3 supplies, so that's like another full belly. You know what? Let's give him some cereals and crackers. Here. You gave away a food ration. He lets out a relieved breath. Aye! I may even boil it! After a moment of hesitation, he grabs a cracker. Without ya, I would have run to the birds with my ballista, but I need to save the bolts for the ape men, and because of those stinkers, I can't roast here, and raw meat makes me want to puke. Thank you. After a couple of solid bites, he puts your gifts in 2 wooden bowls. Now, Roadster, he says with a full mouth. If you have questions, ask. I'll say a lot to make you get me out of here. To make you get me out of here. You know what I mean? I should ask him what he wants. Where do you want to travel to now, and what will you give me for my help? Oh, so we can, like, help him get to a destination? We can make our own quests. This village makes me sick. How do you keep the goblins away? Have you searched the entire village? Are there no hidden treasures left? Do you have any idea what happened here? I heard some bandits. Have you seen any hideouts? Okay, let's stay focused on the task. I really want to know about the loot. We're going to get to that. Have you seen any hideouts nearby? Nah, I think they're all in the north or the east. I stuck to the western road, and no shell bothered me. Sorry, can't help you. I'm looking for another Roadwarden, a man named Asterion. I never met him, but I surely heard his name many times. He vanished long before I got to the coast. At first, people were asking about him. Now they think he's dead. Any juicy jumballs within the village? You came to the wrong place. Time, moisture, and the damn boars devoured all the loot. I've been here for a couple of days now, and all that's left is this iron I carried here. I was planning to get it back here with some hired muscle and clear the collapsed buildings, but I doubt it's worth the time and the risk. Okay. How do you keep the goblins away? I've got a trick or two to keep me safe. A little something that scares them away, and even without the magic. But tell you what, his smile turns to a wide grin. You help me get out of here, and I'm gonna share some of it with you. Okay, now we're talking, Before we do anything like that, I want to know more about this man. He gives you a sudden glance. What for? I've no legacy to keep alive in titles. I may tell you this and that after you take me out of here. He doesn't trust me enough. Well, I just gave you food, you bastard. Do you have any idea what happened here? Well, I won't guess that I saw many ruins. There's no treasure and skeletons here, so this place means as much as dirt. Someone was barking too loud, so the beast broke through and made them quiet again. He clicks his tongue. And that's that. Talking about nature's fury brings bad luck, don't you know? Don't you know? Okay. Where do you want to go? Let me explain first, I was in Howler's Dale, the closest village to the east and north. And people there are nice, you know. I think my accent is melding into something else. Not like old Pagos. They're all boring and grimmer than a cow, but they cry for corn and everything. The damn good coin. I left. Wanted to go around the ruins, see if there's anything left, but moved to Pelt and hire the hunters to help me there. No luck. A bunch of griefs jumped my pack bird. It's all the brr. I'm just rolling my tongue as much as I can. We're gonna go back to normal speaking. I just bought it. He spits on the floor, fast and nimble, but not brave enough to listen to me when all that screeching and scratching started. So it ran away with my bags. A few fell on the ground and I pulled them here. But you see how it is. I won't travel around with a tent on my back. He taps the crossbow with his fingers. I need maybe a day more, eh? Just a day, and I'll have all the iron scrapped from the barrels so I can move forward. But I can't take all my stuff alone. And without me around, the ape men are going to break in and steal all my shit. I need to stay here, but since you have a horse, come back tomorrow and help me return to Howler's Dell. How about it? I just need to know that the road is safe as it can be, I mean. This sounds perfect. We gotta go there anyway. So, what exactly do you want me to do? I need you to make sure there's no danger sign on the road from here to Howler's, or rather, I know there's some danger, but as long as you can get me there safely return, I'm sure we can handle some roaming monsters. He theatrically rubs his hands together. This ballista has hit more beast skulls than I have fingers, and I never lost a finger, Roadster, only the toes. Maybe to prove it, he starts to count on his fingers. So see if the road is clear. Then come here tomorrow. We'll pack my stuff on your horse and move out, but don't come when it's close to evening. We're going to need 3 hours on our feet, and I won't push through the night. Even sleeping next to the ape-men tribe is safer. He chuckles, and don't make me wait for too long. I can wait for a couple of days, and if I find some food, but if you don't get back, I'll have to risk it no matter what. Why Howler's Dell? I've never been there. Can they afford my iron? Do they have the means to pay for it? I need coins to find a handy bunch if I walk with me, and I need new staff and bolts. I know the village is a nice place. Okay. I had a chance to take a look, though. It's a large inn, a safe one. They seem to be rich and have enough hunters to guide you south. You could use iron to barter. Yeah. Yeah, that place was pretty rich, and maybe we'll give them more business. I kind of like having a companion going to Howler's Dell, but going back and forth. Well, it's a shorter path, I guess. Fewer spots to get surrounded by corpsers. If you're sure it's the best option, fine. I'll trust a roadster's judgment. I don't work for free. I have ways to pay you, don't worry. I can give you dragons, but I'll have to sell the iron first, so I'll need a bit of time, you see. 5 for a short escort would be plenty, I'd say, but if you want, I'll give you a secret jar of mine, a very fine mixture that scares ape-men away. Works on pebblers too. When you ask if all this stench of urine is somehow related to this potion, he just winks and chuckles. I'm okay with escorting this guy, but if we're just going to go back, so we're going to waste a little bit of time, but maybe get this special ape-man mixture. I think the ape-man mixture is better than the money. Just come tomorrow, I'll make it worth your time. He doesn't trust me enough to tell me about himself. To escort him to Howler's Dell, I need to be sure the road leading north. Uh-oh. So how does that work? Because I convinced him to go south. But then I said I'm going to escort him, so maybe we're still going north? Did I make a boo-boo? Time for me to leave. The closer you are to the village and the longer you stay around, the sicker you feel. The taste of gastric juices hits your mouth, your forehead hurts, you start to stumble. Gordon, worried by the sight, pokes your head with its nose. Okay, yeah, we want to get out. I think we got the main thing there. I walk far away from the walls. Leaning on your mount, you go outside, keeping your mouth shut. After a few minutes, your eyes get clearer. It may be better to leave, or at least to stay away from the village for the rest of the day. Gotcha. So we want to come back tomorrow before the evening. So we want to spend this time to try and, I guess, just in case we want to go to make sure it's safe. You stop and touch your aching stomach. Where do you want to go? I feel like every step into the village weakens me more. I should return another day. Yes. I inspect the clearing in the west. Hold on a second. Or journal. Quests. Oh, it may be important to figure out what happened here and if it can ever be re-inhabited. I heard that the village was destroyed almost 10 years ago. It occurred at the same time as a few others. Newcomers arrived at Pelt to the north, and Eudocia left Old Pagos. The southern gate was destroyed by a massive force, most likely a troll or a powerful mage. While the village used to be small, it was also unusually wealthy. So this place was like burnt and looted, but at the same time newcomers arrived. Pelt to the north might not be as trustworthy as I thought. Like, they're very, very rich, right? So probably they're the looters of this place. They came in, they burnt it, they looted it, and set up their own little safe haven with all that funding. Escort the scavenger. He needs another day to gather his things and prepare the iron he's gathered. He asked me to return tomorrow, at least 3 hours before the dusk, but before I do, I need to make sure that the route leading to Howler's Dell isn't blocked by obstacles. I can also take him to Pelt. For my help, he offers me either dragon bones or a mixture that scares ape-men away. So it looks like I'm going to get the choice when the time comes. So we should still check this out, and if it's too dangerous, then we can decide maybe to take him to Pelt, still get the quest rewards, and then find another way to Howler's Dell. I don't know if moving around here is also making me sick, or it's only inside the walls. Every step into the village. But I think all this is considered the village, so I should be traveling and leave. Oh, I can't go anywhere. So maybe we have to explore outside here. Let's check the clearing to the west then. I wonder if we have to make our way through. Where is... It was northwest. It was northwest. So I think continuing west might be still safe. Clearing in the west. The ruined village. The meadow is lush and colorful and so dense it's unsafe for a rider. For a couple of minutes, you lead Gordon with a rope, avoiding the potential disaster in case of a hoof falling into an animal den. Being forced to travel around the palisade every time you get here is going to be a pain. Most of the tree trunks look similar and have a comparable size. They were most likely planted with the sole purpose of being cut down and used by the locals, though cutting so many trees at once, that alone could provoke the wrath of the herds. Such a process should be spread across a couple of seasons, and you can't be sure that was the case. In the west and north, the clearings turn into a wild forest. In the east, you see a road leading north. Wow. So we have to go, we went the wrong direction, but we learned a lot of what might have happened here. And it said the journal was updated. While the village used to be small, it was also unusually wealthy. The southern gate was destroyed by mass road. The nearby clearing was massive, large enough to provoke the wrath of the herds. I leave the clearing. I go to the road leading north. You stop and touch your aching stomach. Yeah, let's get out of here. You're at the closed northern gate. The neglected road is partially overgrown. You hear a river in the east, separated by the lush meadow filled with crickets and rodents. I take a closer look at the gate. Pushed or pulled, it doesn't move an inch. Someone has spread dirt and rocks both underneath it and around it, seemingly to keep the planks stuck in the ground. I go somewhere else. I guess we gotta go, but that's east. I want to go north. But I guess it's the forest, maybe north? I need to see what's on the other side of the northern gate if I want to open it. I feel like every step into the village weakens me more. I should return another day. So I want to do that another day. But I'm guessing we got to go up here. There's probably goblins or something. But if we can open this gate, it's going to make traveling very much easier instead of going through this broken pasture area where all the problems are. So maybe we look at the pasture in the south. I don't want to go all the way back down there. Let's head to the river. You see a quenching family of boars, some of them brown, some black. You consider turning back, but they pay you little attention. After a couple of grunts, they run north. The river is not too wide, yet unusually deep, with banks altered by the locals for decades, if not centuries. The water is cold and clean, yet filled with long plants growing from the bottom. You would rather avoid jumping inside or drinking from it, but you're tempted to at least wash your face, neck, and hands. Dozens, if not hundreds, of small fish are looking for tasty leaves, but also try to avoid their predators. A dance of life, completely unaware of your presence. You suddenly realize there's something else buried among the kelp, a rusty sickle sticking out of the ground, a couple of stone axes and hoes. The wooden handles and a large wagon are covered with moss, but you recognize their shapes. Why would someone drop them here? On the opposite bank, the meadow turns into a thick forest, impenetrable for a rider. Pick them up and sell them. Pick them all up. I turn back. Ooh! I consider washing myself in the river. You need 3 pieces of bathing equipment to get more than... Oh. It won't help you. The oak-shaped soap you own can help you get cleaner, but I guess we've already done that. We need a proper bath. I step away. I inspect the pasture in the southeast. You don't find a single sign of the livestock that lived here in the past. Any bones, horns, antlers, or dung have already been devoured by the wilderness. The pasture ends at a river. On the opposite bank, the meadow turns into a thick forest dependent for a rider. What are the chances that a herd of defensive animals could get there and survive? The breach in the southern fence wasn't made by some brute force. You find axe cuts in the spots that were ultimately broken away. After all these years, there are no tracks that you could follow. Very interesting. Okay, now we can move somewhere because we've explored all around it. Let's continue to the west. You enter the wetlands with their many streams, ponds, and fish. Large birds run and fly between the gray, sparse trees that are covered with moss, mushrooms, and critters. For a human, it may be an unwelcoming and harsh realm. but the overwhelming swarms of insects prove that it's a realm full of life. The danger, with teeth and claws, is hidden below the water's surface. I stay away from the banks. This plant shouldn't be alive, not without leaves. It doesn't resemble the other trees of the wetlands. It's something else. You get off your horse and prepare your axe. The water is filled with dirt and dead plants, and it smells like an old corpse. The roots are spreading far, breaking through the water's surface. You don't see any saurians in the grasses or on the shore. You approach the table-like altar made of 3 limestone slabs. Were these rocks originally as formless as they are now, or was there a point in time centuries ago when they were precisely shaped and decorated by masters of artistry? There's no way to tell. Gordon is peacefully observing the dark grass and slapping flies with his tail. Whatever it is that you feel in the air, it's clear that your companion sees this place through very different eyes. Very interesting. I'm going to do a quick save here. And I need to take a short break to get some food. I am loving this game. It is a very big strain on my vocal cords. But I am actually really loving this game. The vibe of it's giving me strong Witcher vibes. If anybody else agrees with that, I feel like there's a strong Witcher vibe going on here. It's like a dark fantasy. There's monsters roaming the worlds, all willy-nilly. But I'm really interested. So I'm actually going to stop the episode here, and let me know if this is a good length. If you guys are feeling this is a better length for these kind of these episodes, or if it's better to go a little bit further. I'd love to get your feedback on it. This is my first time doing any kind of narrative video, and I want this channel to grow with you guys. I don't want this to be like me taking the reins. I want this to be something that we share. So, yeah, let me know. And until the next one, we'll stay sultry out there, ladies and gentlemen.